Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey into the fascinating world of myths, timeless stories that have shaped cultures, ignited imaginations, and sometimes left us scratching our heads. These myths, passed down through generations, reveal deep insights into the values, fears, and aspirations of the societies that created them. From ancient legends to modern folklore, these stories have transcended time and geography. 1. The myth of Atlantis. Our first myth takes us to the legendary lost city of Atlantis. This captivating tale originates from the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, specifically in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. According to Plato, Atlantis was an advanced civilization, a utopia with incredible wealth, impressive architecture, and a powerful navy. It was said to be located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which many believe to be the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato describes how Atlantis was a powerful nation that eventually fell out of favor with the gods due to its moral decline, leading to its catastrophic destruction. Many have speculated about its actual location. Some suggest it could be in the Mediterranean Sea, while others propose the Caribbean or even Antarctica. The myth has inspired countless theories and searches for its remains, with explorers and archaeologists dedicating their lives to uncovering the truth. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the story of Atlantis has fascinated scholars, writers, and dreamers for centuries. It raises questions about civilization, morality, and humanity's relationship with nature. Some even argue that Atlantis serves as a cautionary tale about hubris and the consequences of ignoring ethical responsibilities. In modern culture, Atlantis has become a symbol of lost wisdom and mystery. Movies, books, and even video games often reference this mythical city, suggesting that the allure of Atlantis endures because it taps into our deepest desires for knowledge and exploration. 2. Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Next up, we have Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, a creature that has become synonymous with mystery in North American folklore. This elusive being is typically described as a large, hairy humanoid, standing up to 10 feet tall. Most sightings have been reported in the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, where the vast wilderness leaves room for speculation and imagination. Interestingly, tales of hairy giants have been part of Native American culture long before modern sightings began. Tribes such as the Salish and the Chehalis have their own legends of a similar creature, often seen as a guardian of the forests. The first widely publicized sighting in the 1950s, combined with a famous film shot in 1967 known as the Patterson-Gimlin film, propelled Bigfoot into mainstream culture. Numerous investigations have attempted to find evidence of Bigfoot's existence, including footprints, hair samples, and even audio recordings. However, the scientific community remains skeptical, pointing out that many supposed sightings can be attributed to misidentifications, hoaxes, or natural wildlife. Despite the lack of empirical evidence, the legend of Bigfoot persists. Enthusiasts and cryptozoologists continue to search for the elusive creature, and conventions are held annually to celebrate the lore surrounding Sasquatch. This myth reflects our human fascination with the unknown and our desire to explore the unexplored. 3. Mermaids. Our third myth brings us to the enchanting world of mermaids. With roots in ancient maritime folklore, tales of half-woman, half-fish beings have been recorded across cultures. From the sirens of Greece, who lured sailors to their doom with enchanting songs, to the Mami Wata of West African lore, mermaids embody both beauty and danger. Sailors in the Age of Exploration often reported sightings of mermaids, sometimes mistaking manatees or other marine animals for these mythical beings. The accounts were often embellished and fueled by the isolation and hardships faced at sea. Some believed mermaids were omens, signaling storms or bad luck, while others saw them as harbingers of good fortune. In modern culture, mermaids have transformed into beloved characters. Disney's The Little Mermaid presents a romanticized version of the myth, focusing on themes of love and adventure. Yet, the original tales often served as warnings about the dangers of the sea and the unknown. Some psychologists suggest that mermaid myths may represent deeper human fears and desires, perhaps a longing for freedom or the fear of the depths of the ocean, which can symbolize the unconscious mind. The allure of mermaids persists, captivating audiences in literature, film, and art. 4. The Fountain of Youth. The Fountain of Youth. This myth, popularized by Spanish explorer Ponce de León, suggests that a magical spring can restore youth and vitality. While Ponce was famously said to be searching for it in Florida, tales of rejuvenating waters have appeared in various cultures throughout history, from ancient Greece to Native American legends. The myth often reflects humanity's obsession with youth and beauty. In the Middle Ages, the Fountain of Youth symbolized hope in a time when life expectancy was low, and disease was rampant. The concept has persisted through the ages, appealing to our desire for immortality. Today, while we may not have found the Fountain of Youth, the quest for eternal youth continues through skincare products, diets, and medical advances. The pursuit of youth is so prevalent that it drives entire industries, with people willing to go to great lengths, sometimes at great expense, to maintain their appearance. This myth highlights the tension between aging and our desire to remain youthful. It challenges us to reflect on how we perceive aging and the value we place on youth in our society. Are we merely chasing an illusion? 5. Vampires. Our fifth myth delves into the dark and alluring world of vampires. Originating from Eastern European folklore, these creatures are said to rise from their graves to feast on the blood of the living. The vampire myth has evolved over centuries, transitioning from terrifying tales of the undead to romanticized versions in literature and film. One of the most famous cases that fueled vampire hysteria was that of Count Dracula, a character inspired by the real-life Vlad the Impaler. His gruesome reign in the 15th century blended history with horror, establishing a foundation for modern vampire stories. The vampire myth often reflects societal fears, whether it be about death, disease, or the unknown. Today, vampires have become symbols of seduction and power in films and books. From Bram Stoker's Dracula to contemporary series like Twilight and True Blood, the vampire myth has taken on new forms, often exploring themes of identity, love, and morality. What makes vampires so appealing? Some psychologists argue that they embody our fears of intimacy and death. The duality of their nature, both predator and tragic figure, allows us to explore complex emotions. As society evolves, so too does our interpretation of the vampire myth, reflecting our changing values and fears. 6. The Chupacabra. Next, we have the Chupacabra, a modern legend that emerged in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Described as a creature that attacks livestock and drains their blood, it has sparked numerous sightings and theories. Eyewitness accounts vary, with some claiming it resembles a reptilian creature, while others describe it as a hairless dog-like figure. The first reported sightings of the Chupacabra coincided with a wave of livestock deaths in Puerto Rico, leading to widespread panic. While some believe it to be an alien or a genetic experiment gone wrong, skeptics argue that the creature may simply be a coyote suffering from mange. The Chupacabra has become a symbol of fear in rural communities, representing the anxieties surrounding the unknown and the changing landscape of modern life. Its legend reflects our need to find explanations for unexplained phenomena. Explore comparisons with other urban legends. Interestingly, the Chupacabra shares similarities with other modern urban legends. Its evolution illustrates how myths adapt to contemporary fears, making it a fascinating case study in folklore. 7. Dragons. Dragons are perhaps one of the most iconic mythical creatures, varying significantly across cultures. In Western folklore, they are often depicted as fierce, fire-breathing beasts, hoarding treasures and terrorizing villages. In contrast, Eastern traditions often portray dragons as wise and benevolent, symbolizing strength, wisdom, and good fortune. The dragon myth can be traced back thousands of years, with ancient civilizations attributing various meanings to these creatures. In Mesopotamia, the dragon was often a symbol of chaos, while in China, it represented imperial authority and protection. The dual nature of dragons reflects humanity's complex relationship with nature, both feared and revered. Modern representations of dragons in films and literature, such as Game of Thrones and The Hobbit, often emphasize their role as formidable adversaries or powerful allies. These narratives highlight themes of power, greed, and the struggle between good and evil. The enduring popularity of dragons in our culture suggests a deep-seated fascination with these majestic beings. They serve as a metaphor for humanity's fears and aspirations, embodying the power and mystery of nature itself. 8. Zombies. Our eighth myth brings us to zombies, creatures that have captivated audiences with their portrayal in horror films and literature. Originating from Haitian voodoo beliefs, the idea of the undead has evolved into a staple of popular culture, especially in apocalyptic narratives. The modern zombie, often depicted as mindless and relentless, serves as a powerful symbol of societal fears. Zombies were originally rooted in African folklore, with the belief that a witch could reanimate the dead to do their bidding. The idea was popularized in the 20th century through films like Night of the Living Dead, which added layers of social commentary regarding consumerism, conformity, and the breakdown of society. Today, zombies serve as a metaphor for various societal anxieties, from pandemics and environmental disasters to the fear of losing one's identity. The zombie apocalypse trope reflects our collective concerns about survival and the fragility of civilization. Zombies also provide an outlet for exploring darker aspects of human nature, including violence and survival instincts. They force us to confront our fears and question what it means to be truly alive in a world that often feels chaotic. 9. The Kraken. Next, we explore the Kraken, a legendary sea monster said to dwell off the coast of Norway. Described as a giant cephalopod capable of dragging ships into the depths, the Kraken reflects humanity's fear of the unknown ocean, a vast, mysterious expanse that has both fascinated and terrified explorers for centuries. The Kraken myth has roots in Scandinavian folklore, where sailors spoke of giant sea monsters that would attack ships. These tales likely stemmed from encounters with real-life giant squids or other marine animals. The fear of what lies beneath the waves has inspired countless stories and legends, reinforcing the ocean's status as a source of wonder and danger. Modern portrayals of the Kraken, particularly in films like Pirates of the Caribbean, have solidified its status as a fearsome creature. This mythical monster embodies the awe and terror we associate with the ocean, reminding us of nature's unpredictable power. The Kraken serves as a reminder of humanity's relationship with the sea, both a source of sustenance and a realm of fear. It symbolizes our quest for understanding in a world that often feels beyond our control. 10. Mummies. Finally, we arrive at mummies, especially those of ancient Egypt. The practice of mummification aimed to preserve bodies for the afterlife, leading to the myth of cursed mummies awakening to wreak havoc on those who disturb their rest. The most famous example is the curse of King Tutankhamun, which sparked a frenzy of fear and intrigue in the early 20th century. Mummification was a complex process that reflected the ancient Egyptians' beliefs in the afterlife. They believed that preserving the body was essential for the soul's journey after death. The discovery of King Tut's tomb in 1922 brought mummification practices into the spotlight, fueling the notion of curses associated with disturbed graves. Show clips from archaeological finds and horror films. While many of these curses are rooted in superstition, the fascination with mummies continues in both archaeology and entertainment. Films and books often exaggerate the supernatural aspects, creating thrilling narratives that tap into our fears of the unknown. Mummies serve as a window into ancient cultures and their beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife. They remind us of the universal human desire for immortality and the lengths we go to in search of meaning beyond our mortal existence. Conclusion. And there you have it, the top 10 myths that have captured our imaginations throughout history. Each myth serves as a lens through which we can examine our fears, desires, and values. Which myth fascinates you the most?